Just click wherever it says that it's okay for you to record. Okay. Well, welcome. This is so wonderful to finally see you in camera, Regina. It's going to be almost a year since we started working together, and it's been almost 6 months since we are not working together, more or less. And it is fantastic we never saw each other. It was always through the phone. So it is fantastic for me to really see you live. This is really amazing for me. Thank you so much for giving
Thank you
yourself
for
the time to meet me and to give your testimonial.
thank you so much for allowing me to have this opportunity.
This is fantastic. Okay, so basically, like before we turned on the camera for this, and when we were talking, the main purpose of this is to leave a testimonial, right? Of what was your process, what you were going through, how working with me helped you, right? And who would you recommend this for, right? The first part, which is really important, and it helps me know what tools work best and for what kind of people, yeah, is if you could share with us, what do you believe has worked the most for you? What was your biggest takeaway of working with me? The sessions, what tools do you still practice, and after how long do you still practice them? How are they integrated in you? How has the process that we have worked for you so far? And if it still works, how does it work?
Oh, okay. Well, I think basically, during that period of time, it was very beneficial for me to do the journaling. I also, you know, because I was dealing with a lot of anxiety, the breathing techniques or helping me to learn to breathe through the anxiety or what I was going through at the moment. Um, at that time it was beneficial. I see that also is still beneficial for me today. I probably should still be journaling. I mean, I know it'd be beneficial, but a lot of time I think it, but I don't actually journal it. But that was beneficial while I was going through that process. And also, again, because there was so much trauma, the the principle of the mindfulness and being in the present. Now it's not so much as I have to consciously think about it. I'm living that, and I'm not, consciously thinking, why am I doing this and why am I doing that? But I'm just more at peace, so I'm able to just consciously, do those things. And I had always had kind of a lifestyle of gratitude before, but it gave me more incentive to wake up in the mornings with gratitude. And now even more so through the day, I have so many things that I'm thankful for. And during that time, also you taught me to, when I go to bed at night, what I was thankful for, the gratitude again. So I'm, still practice that as well, because I sort of had that mindset beforehand anyway, but that kind of reiterated, the importance of that in my life. Um, and, I've learned um, to have more appreciation for everything in my life. And that sometimes that there are times that are unpleasant things happen to you, but they're not just happening to you, they're happening for you, and there's a takeaway from it. And instead of putting so much emotion into what you're feeling at the moment, how that situation or what have you makes you feel, you can learn from it. You can, gather something from it and go forward. You can choose your emotions. And and sometimes, something happens, I find myself choosing my emotion, and I really want to be angry or really want to be upset. But I'm thinking, okay, what can I take away from this? What am I supposed to learn? What is this happening for? And beforehand, I would have just crumbled under the emotion of the fact of what was happening to me. And now it's not so much, okay, this is happening to me, poor me. This is happening for me. And how can I go forward with this? So I think that's a lot of the process and the takeaway. And I don't want to forget anything. I make notes. So I think maybe I did
Thank
cover
you.
it, but
Yeah, no,
yeah.
what you just shared is fantastic because I remember that at the moment when we met, you were going through a very specific, I mean, there were a lot of things going on in your life at that moment. It's like
Yes.
everything came together at once, right?
Mm-hmm.
Usually when that happens is like when you're ready for transformation. And a lot of people, when they feel that way, they get brave and they think they can do it on themselves, or they hide in. But it takes a lot of courage to actually look for help, and you did. And I'm so glad you did, and we met.
Thank you.
And if you can share with us, where were you at the moment that you contacted me? What called for your attention to contact me? Where were you? What were you going through? What did you learn? Well, you just shared what you learned during the process, right? But in what was the, hence 4 months, more or less 4 months and a half later, what was the outcome?
Um, because I was going through a lot of trauma. I had suffered a tremendous amount of loss in a very short period of time. Even though it was through a process of a couple years, some things happened pretty much back to back. And unfortunately, besides just the loss, I was involved in a toxic relationship. I had been married a couple of years and thought that just loving him enough would help me to be able to cope and that things would change. But instead, I experienced a lot of trauma. And so, unfortunately, he passed away unexpectedly. But even though he had passed away, I was still experiencing a great amount of trauma every day. And I couldn't understand why. And I couldn't um, seem to be able to get past that on my own. Even being a person of a lot of faith and strong belief, that you can conquer anything, I felt, as though I needed some guidance and wisdom, and maybe that, someone could help me to get through that. And fortunately, I was able to um, find your page and be able to contact you and feel comfortable through our sessions to explain and express what I was going through. But I did just seem to have so much trauma and stress every day.
What were you feeling? What was your feelings like? What was your everyday
Oh,
life
so much
like?
anxiety from the moment I woke up, and unfortunately throughout my day to the time I'd go to try to sleep, and then I couldn't rest because everything was playing through my mind. And between just the fact that I had suffered so many losses of people that I missed and things that happened unforeseen, and I just was overwhelmed. I was just truly overwhelmed by everything, the whole scenario of it all. And not just the loss, but trying to process the like post-traumatic stress of the relationship I had just been involved in. And even though, again, he wasn't even there to um to do the same things that prompted the stress in my life, the emotional abuse, um, I was still feeling the same way that I did when I was going through it and suffering it. And I didn't know how to overcome that on my own. But I knew that there had to be some way. And I believed in, self care, self love, that I loved myself enough to know and that I deserved better and that somehow there had to be a better way of life.
I understand. And then you were courageous enough to look for help.
Yes,
And how did it go
absolutely.
from there?
Um, I trusted the process. I believed in you and I believed in myself, and I was willing to do the work that needed to be done, whatever was asked of me to do it, that I knew it was for my own benefit. And little by little, just the process of every little thing we did would seem to build upon it and just help me to continue to feel stronger and more confident that, that I um, would sort of make it on the other side, if you will, that there might be life out there outside of all the things that I was currently feeling at the time. And again, I just trusted the process and tried to work through everything that was asked of me. And, everything built upon itself, that it was a learning experience. And I just noticed that slowly I was not as stressed anymore. I wasn't as anxious and overwhelmed, and that I could feel a sense of peace and I could feel a sense of joy, and just knew in my heart that I was going to come out and be a stronger person, and that somehow I'd be able to live the life that I truly deserve.
And what is your life like now?
Um, oh my goodness, so much better. So much better. As a matter of fact, I jotted down because I didn't want to forget the actual things I wanted to say about my life. Um, so I don't mean to read like a script, but I didn't want to forget it. And it was that it was like I made a shift, from living from post-traumatic stress and being triggered every day, instead to a state of living in peace. And no matter if it was some unforeseen situation, negative experience, someone made a comment, or if there was a reaction from another person, I'm able to stop and choose to be calm and evaluate the situation and try to figure out why it happened and what the purpose for it is. What am I supposed to get out of this, and how am I supposed to respond? And then I can adjust accordingly. And that way I know I don't have to lose my peace, regardless of what that particular thing is at the time. Again, whether it's prompted from another person or just a situation beyond my control, that, it's still going to be okay. And that, I I stop and really think about each thing, and I don't let myself get overwhelmed by it anymore.
It's fantastic. I remembered also that at the time, after almost finishing our process, when you were feeling already better, you asked me, "Do you think it's going to be possible for me to meet another person and feel all right with another person?" Right?
Mm-hmm.
And we
Mm-hmm.
started working on that, on a process for you to be able to feel reassured by yourself and taking care of
Mm-hmm.
yourself the way you wanted to be taken care of by someone else.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think it was like about 2 months that then I received a message from you that it was such a blessing. It was fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Would you be willing to share a little bit about that?
Oh, absolutely. I think because I worked on myself to be healthy, that it allowed me to attract another healthy person, and a person that had the capability to, well, if you say love, but to love me the way I deserve to be loved, to treat me the way I deserve to be treated, and just to coincide together the way I feel like a relationship's supposed to be, because up until that point I had not experienced those things. And for the first time in my life, I truly learned that I do love myself, and that I deserve the greatest of love and the greatest that is out there, and not to what is the word, settle for anything less than that. So now, I do have a relationship that's been about 6 months that we've been seeing each other, and we get along so well, and we never fuss, fight, argue. There's never anyone putting anyone down, and there's just true respect for each other, mutual respect, and just, enjoyment, and in spending time together, and just having the gift of companionship with another person that is healthy. At least I finally feel like I'm healthy. So
That is so beautiful. I'm so happy for you.
thank you.
I still remember a lot of the calls when you were when you met someone before and you were feeling uneasy about it, and
Mm-hmm.
but you were still working through it, and you were really so
Mm-hmm.
committed to yourself to go through the process, to really try to go through not only information and know what was wrong, what you thought was wrong, because all along the way there was nothing wrong with you, right? It was just a perspective. You're not
Mm-hmm.
broken, and you were not broken, but to find that transformation within you, right? And then rise from within that. beautiful heart of yours, right? That now you're able to show, and you feel okay, you feel comfortable with it, you feel reassured by yourself, you feel confident.
Exactly.
It is really, to me, it's been an amazing experience to work alongside with you. I am really, really grateful as a coach, because you really followed up on all of the program, step by step. You decided to trust yourself through it.
I have a great
And
coach.
thank you. And it's really been an honor. It's been an honor to help you, to be there, to hold the space for your transformation, but most of all, a real privilege to be able to witness your transformation. And now, almost a year later, to be in a call with you and listen to where you are right now, and that even after so much time that's passed that we work together, it is still working for you, and you're still, I mean, the tools are integrated into your everyday life.
Absolutely. Forever, for the rest of my life. Absolutely.
That is just fantastic. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And there's just one last question, and anything else you want to add, of course, is for who would you recommend this for and why?
I think anyone that maybe is feeling stuck in their life, like they feel like there's something more that, life has to offer, that they're having difficulty, in their life, trying to go forward. Maybe it is from a past relationship or a loss or traumatic experience, whatever that might be, and that they just feel like they, are having difficulties getting past the past, and they just need some guidance and direction, and how to be able to overcome, maybe you would use the word, um you know those um those things, because there truly is a life outside of trauma and loss, and all the negative things that life can throw at you. And you are gifted to be able to guide, like you guided me to use these techniques to become a lifestyle to help in just everyday situations. And I didn't have that before. And so to anyone that feels like they can benefit from that, or would like to have that, it's a wonderful opportunity and a great privilege to have you as a coach.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Regina. This is really wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing. Is there
Thank
anything
you.
else that you would like to add?
I can't think of anything really, other than that I am very grateful for having had this opportunity. It has changed my life, and I'm very appreciative, that um, I was led to you, and that you have been able to be so patient and so understanding in so many times, so many ways. And you never gave up on me. You always believed in me. And you'll never know how much I appreciate you and appreciate all the time that I've had to work with you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Regina. I feel the same way. We build a beautiful relationship, and I hold it close to my heart always. Um, you were also a gift to me as a client, because I learned from your resilience, I learned from your transformation, and I love making that connection, so that you know that you're not alone.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you so much as well to you for your dedication and for being there.
Thank
This is
you.
fantastic. Thank you.